Halimbawa, Fiber Home, yan. Okay, good. So, we put those names on their brands. No? May mga pangalan talaga sila. So, just like Huawei and Nokia, they need to comply with the 3GPP compliance. Okay? So, yung mga devices nila and equipment, inaaral din natin yan. And they have to pass through what we call the type approval and type approval process. Or ibig sabihin, pumasok sila sa standard natin, pumasok sila dun sa mga requirements natin. Okay, at this point in time, may mga questions ba? Just checking. May specific modem na po ba? Yes, we have also specific modems later now daan natin to offer as 5G. Yes, but again, it's a business direction if they wanted to offer this one as a modem for the home services or home broadband. Sige, later daanan natin yan. It's a good question. Okay, so now more yung sabi natin kanina, 5G, while it's bringing us speed, it's bringing us capacity, it is bringing us new capabilities, it's still under a standard. No? That's something that we need to understand. So pagka tinignan natin si 5G, dapat hindi lang siya about technology, it's also a standard. Okay? Okay. So, paano natin siya ma-relate sa technology natin yan? Or paano natin siya ma-relate sa atin bilang we are a telco or a operator, a telco or a telecommunications company. So, ano ba yung kino-cover niya? So, babalik lang tayo dun sa ating main structure or main framework that we have 5G ready devices and SIM card. No? Tapos meron tayong 5G sites, meron tayong application. Now, each of the pillars of this framework, whether it's a device or a SIM card, no, it has to comply with the service and systems aspect. Familiar ba kayo sa SIM card provider natin? Meron ba ditong may familiar sa mga SIM card provider or anyone has worked with our SIM card provider? If you're familiar with Thales, Thales, and Gemalto, so these are very small chipsets. So our SIM card is very small chipset that also follow the 3GPP, 3GPP standards. Kasi for it to connect to 5G service, it needs to follow. Again, another story here. No? There was this team under the outside the 3GPP. Okay, pag sinabi natin outside 3GPP, this is ang tawag nila dito ay OTSA or Open Trial Systems team, no, or alliance, or natawag nilang OSTA, Open System Trial Alliance. Okay? So, yung mga yun, gumawa sila ng merong participants from Japan, merong participants from Korea, and they created a 5G technology outside the 3G. You know, a year after or a two, they were not able to sell kasi hindi siya standardized. So that's a problem of putting a technology that's not standardized. If it's not standardized, then there's a high chance that you will not be able to commercialize it and market it. Okay? That's why 3GPP, the common standard for all, whether you are a manufacturer, whether an equipment provider, whether you are a telecommunications industry, then you have to follow those standards for you to easily sell it in the market. Okay? Kasi if these devices, terminals, are globally distributed and generally acceptable, then it will be easy for people to adopt or to buy or to sell. No? Okay, clear ba yun? So ngayon, we, in Globe Telecom, we also follow these 3GPP standards. So for the systems and service and systems aspects, we also ask and pay NTC for the use of frequencies and radio spectrum. We are also partnering with different platforms towards an application, also the service and systems aspects. No? We also have the core network and terminal. So ibig sabihin, if you're going to a certain application, you need to go through a core services and core network functions. And of course, no, the 5G devices are also being type approved by NTC. So ibig sabihin, before the 5G was launched here in the Philippines in 2019, the telecommunications company and the telco, and of course the systems and aspects like the NTC, the governing body, are already thinking on how they can make it, how they can put it in the market. Okay? So hindi na siya basta-basta 5G technology as we know it. So it has to come to those processes for us to enjoy the benefits of the technology. Okay? So now, let's break it down pa even more. Yung tatawag natin 3GPP, 5G na yan. No? You know, before there was this 3GPP, 5G, bago pa magkaroon ng 5G na yan, there was this vision in 2012. Ano ngayon, 2022, no? 10 years ago, they were already thinking of what would be the cellular communications, how it will look like. You know? Paano magiging issue ng cellular communication natin. So it's more of a vision. It's more of an IMT 2020 vision, or tatawag nilang International Mobile Telecommunications 2020 vision, kaya tinawag siyang IMT 2020. Okay? International Mobile Telecommunications 2020, meaning this is how they envision 2020 would look like. Pero 2020, anong naalala natin ulit pag 2020? Pag 2020, anong naalala natin? Hindi nga ng chat box ninyo. Or you can feel free to unmute, ha? COVID, okay, that's right.
Lockdown.
Lockdown, pandemic, ayan, okay, great. So at least alam natin kung ano nangyari ng 2020. So even 2012, no, bago pa sila umabot ng 5G thinking and IMT 2020, they are already thinking and envisioning how it look like. So pag tinignan natin itong web na to, no, itong spider web na, makikita natin that there are already targets in terms of area traffic capacity of 10 Mbps per square meter. Ibig sabihin, if we 100 square meter in that area, then each of the user will have its own speed of 10 Mbps. That's the traffic capacity. We also have network efficiency that is 100 times better than the existing. Connection density of 10 raised to 6, or that is 1 million. The latency or the radio latency is around 1 millisecond. So, paano binabasa ito is that you have a number here. No? You have the target parameter, and of course, saan siya nanggaling? Halimbawa ito, can we achieve a 10 millisecond period latency? Yes. No? If you try speed test using your fiber, you can get as much as 8 or 9 milliseconds going to the core network or to the speed test server. NTC regulated po ba yan, sir? Again, si NTC follows as well yung tinatawag natin standard na 3GPP. Pero itong IMT 2020, this is only a vision. Kumbaga, it's not yet being regulated, it's not yet being mandated, but this is a vision. So sinasabi nila na ito yung gusto kong makitang communications na, okay, noted. Ito yung gusto kong makitang technology. So now, ako ngayon, as a developer, as an innovator, as a technologist, sa time ko ngayon, pwede kong isipin na, by the time of 2030, pwede ko sabihin na the latency could be as low as 0.5 millisecond. That is my vision. So that is what IMT 2020 is all about. Patungkol siya sa vision nila. Gusto kong makita ng cellular communication or radio communication that has a 1 millisecond latency, that has an spectrum efficiency up to 5
Hindi ka matulog.
times. No? It can even have a user experience, a data rate of 1 Gbps and a peak data rate of 20 Gbps. So those are the parameters. Ito yung na-envision nila IMT 2020. So now, dahil meron tong vision ng IMT 2020, and as we discussed, no, meron din tayong tinatawag na 3GPP. How are they connected to each other? They have this what we call the project coordination group. So to the third generation partnership project, we have the PCG or the project coordination group, wherein ang magkakasama dyan ay sino to? Ito si 3GPP and their member organization, of course sila ATI, sila ARIP, all the other international organization, at nag-uusap sila. No? Okay, silang dalawa. At meron silang sinasabi na, si ITU daw, gusto niya, si ITU is the International Telecommunications Union Radio